Hey!
Good morning.
On this beautiful, fabulous Friday, the gateway to the weekend.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sunnies, and welcome back to the brightest little corner of the Sunnyverse. And happy Friday! We made it, baby.
Friday.
And I love it. We got a beautiful show for you today because we've got the whole crew in studio. Very excited, including the one, the only, the resident ray of light. Ixiim is in studio. That's right. So grab yourself a little coffee or tea and throw the windows open and don't keep the air conditioner on. Don't throw the windows
open your windows right now?
That's a horrible thing to say.
What's wrong with you?
Let's send out the week.
Yeah, apparently David hates us all tonight.
Oh. Before we get into all that and unpack this with the TLDR, whatever the hell the kids say these days, let's turn it over to the queen of the sunny sack scene. Mel, what are we snacking on today?
I still don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
The whole week.
You haven't had a snack?
Are we retiring you being the snack
It's too
queen?
hot, that's why.
It's true.
It's
when
because
it's
I
this hot
forgot to
out.
bring the cookies this morning.
Yeah,
I
I
was
can't
gonna
when
stop
it's
at
too
Cafe
hot
11
out.
and get those cookies.
To say
and I
that
forgot.
again, what were you going to do?
I was going to stop at Cafe 11 and get those cookies we
That
talked about the
Renee
other
was talking
day.
about, yeah.
They open at 7:30, and I
Right.
missed it because I was like, I don't know. I was on autopilot
It's called
driving
life.
here.
Hey, you made it here. That's all that
That's fine.
matters.
Yeah.
Yes, but we are glowing today because it's Pina Colada.
That's right.
National Pina Colada Day.
Yep.
And today's Details by Dean is basically a history degree and a vacation all in one.
Oh,
Yes.
love that.
And today I'm going to be talking about something special today. It is National Parks and Rec Month. We've talked about it a couple times on the show. And I'm also going to talk about wonder. And if you're wondering what that means, stay tuned for my Inspo segment. We're going to talk about all the things in our local environment that allow us to experience wonder.
Yay.
Oh, I love that.
And speaking of the town, we've got some stories that will make you proud and some that'll tug at your heartstrings.
And Sonnies, I got a sunshine shenanigans
And
today
here we go. Ruin
about
that
a
line.
bride and a mother-in-law, and that's legally all I'm allowed to say at this point in the show. Yeah.
I'm scared already.
And the snack pack playlist is Big Voices and Bigger Feelings today. We're sending you one with a little bit of love today.
And Mel's got a brand new take on something on movies of yesteryear that had us howling. So be
New
prepared for that.
segments.
We're excited for this. Big launch.
What's it called?
It is called Mad Mel's Movie Meltdown.
Ooh!
And guys, I'm sorry, I'm coming for your beloved classics.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm ready. Wonder, laughter, heart, and just enough chaos to keep it interesting. So don't touch that sunny sundial today because this show is
Fierce, it's fresh, it's Sunny TV.
And now a quick word from our title sponsors, the Bailey Group and Steve Chapman's All-American Air.
Best friend.
Be ready for anything with the Bailey Group, an NFP company. Life is full of unexpected moments. Whether it's securing your family's future, protecting your business, or planning for individual wealth, the Bailey Group is here to guide you every single step of the way. Since 1954, the Bailey Group has been a trusted cornerstone of the St. Augustine community. Under the leadership of President Mark Bailey, they've grown from a local agency into a nationally recognized firm, offering tailored solutions for individuals, families, and businesses, with a focus on individual health and life insurance, Medicare solutions, group insurance, and property and casualty commercial coverage. The Bailey Group combines cutting-edge technology, strategic partnerships, and personalized service to deliver the peace of mind you deserve. Give them a call today, 904-461-1800.
Hi, I'm Steve Chapman, owner of All American Air Conditioning and Heating. For over 40 years, we've been serving St. Augustine and the surrounding areas. We're the largest HVAC dealer in St. Johns County, providing high-quality service and products. With courteous technicians responding to your HVAC needs, our expertise will give you confidence in your investment. Family-owned All-American Air Conditioning, voted best of St. Augustine for more than 20 years running.
Happy Friday.
Such things that Mel says behind the scenes.
Yes, you know what it's time for? I'm going to talk to you about this weather. I'm about to weather your weather.
All
Yes.
right.
It's weathering.
First up, freaking hydrate, people.
I'm
Stay
telling you about it, right?
inside.
Yeah.
Because today is
You're blocking your
94.
face.
That's I'm still upset about
Oh,
before.
very upset. Yeah, let her
Today's
get it.
going to be 94, but it's going to feel like 110. Yay!
Oh,
So
And
hot.
pump ass
The
day.
UV index is 12.0 again. Wind guster south at 9 miles per hour. That's the wind coming in, but wind gusts
Why
at
don't
25
my
miles per
animals
hour.
want to stay inside? I don't understand
Daisy
why
doesn't
they
either.
want to
Yeah,
just
my dogs
stay
wanna be
and go pee
outside.
and come back in. No,
But
we want to play. Ugh.
Tonight it's going to drop down to 75, but it's going to feel 80.
Still
There
hot.
are there's
soup. It's like soup
there's a
outside.
low chance of rain today, but get ready for the weekend because there's going to be some storms in
I heard a bunch of
big
thunder
shout
yesterday.
out. Good morning, Andrea. Good to see you in comments, Boo.
Yay.
And happy Friday, Sylvia Brown.
Friday.
in
Here we
comments,
go.
too.
Details by Dean, guys.
Ooh,
Today.
Sylvia,
Yay.
sorry to interrupt you, Mel, but hang on. We've got a really cool Oregon story coming up. Let's get it. Let's hit this
Today
other part.
is National Pina Colada Day.
If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain. Yeah, I love it. I love a one and done pina colada.
Yeah.
It starts
it's
my
not
vacation.
a multiple. Yeah.
No, that you just won. One's
Yeah.
enough. It's a little sweet, but it's so good.
And you just hit it out of the park. You said it does what?
It's like starts the vacation.
It does.
That is the first drink when I go on vacation. I have a pina colada that's nice and refreshing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So cool.
good.
Like,
I
With
don't
the
need
dark
it
rum
heavy,
float.
simple syrup. I just need a
No.
really light and right
Yeah.
pina colada, which Boat Drinks makes an incredible
Yes,
pina colada.
Sylvia
yeah.
Brown-
Brown
I would've
said,
stopped and
I
gotten
bet
him
Mel's
some.
behind the scenes. It's hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely OnlyFans worthy for sure.
Yes.
And so what else? Okay, so when we think of Puerto Rican bartender named Ramon Monchito Marrero, perfected it, the pina colada in 1954 at the Caribe Hilton in San Juan,
Yes.
reportedly spending
Wait a minute.
3 whole months getting it just right.
what?
Our very first Inspo by Ixiim segment was on National Pina Colada Day
You're
last
very
year.
right.
That is
That's very right. We
right.
talked about this. I was
Yes.
like, yay, look at Mel remembers. Woo!
That's
That
right.
is amazing,
You're
Mel.
so
exciting.
That's
We
one heck
circled
of a
back.
memory.
Yes. And it's National Teddy Bear Picnic Day.
Teddy bear, straight from the classic children's song. Grab a stuffed animal, grab a
love
blanket, and head and stay inside. Head outside. Who writes these things?
Who, wait,
right.
why is it in the summer? Because we did this at school, but we did it during the school year.
Yeah.
We had Teddy Bear Day. Everyone brought their bears and we
Yeah.
had a little picnic, but it was during the school year. This is
Oh, was
weird.
it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Weird.
interesting. Okay.
But let's do happy birthdays. I love her. Happy birthday, Jessica Simpson. Good
Oh.
she makes fun shoes.
She does make
She
great,
has
and they're
great
comfortable.
shoes and accessories.
Yes, they're comfortable.
Listen, I read the Jessica Simpson autobiography. Stop rolling your eyes.
No, I love
It
her.
so good.
is so good.
It completely reframed my
100%.
perception of her.
100 million percent.
Yeah,
I love her.
Literally changed my opinion about Jessica Simpson.
Yep.
I really enjoy her a lot.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
And happy birthday to Marcel Proust, born in 1871.
Yeah, don't you remember he wrote In
No, I don't
Search of
remember.
Lost He wrote
She might remember.
In Search of Lost Time, over 1 million words, one of the longest novels ever.
Ever. Mal, I'm sure you read that like 20 times, right?
And Nicolaus
Nicolaus.
Otto was born in 1832.
He built the 4-stroke engine. Nearly every gas car today runs on his design.
Well, thank
And
God
I
for
love
him.
that he was self-taught. He was a traveling salesman that taught himself how to do this. He tinkered around and he built this just from like nothing. It's wild, right?
that
love
sounds
that.
So
hot.
cool.
That's a man I could get with.
And today we honor a true champion, the great author Arthur Ashe. I can't talk today, who left us in 1993.
That's right. He was the first black man to win Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, and the Australian Open. But his legacy off the court in education and equality and health advocacy was even bigger.
Wow. And here's a quote that we can carry today. Arthur Ashe said, get this, Sonnies, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah,
Snap-
it's
it's
amazing.
snap-worthy.
Yeah, snaps. That's definitely snap-worthy.
Definitely.
And in U.S. history, 1804, one of the most infamous mornings in American history.
Yeah, the Hamilton-Burr duel in Weehawken, New Jersey. The sitting vice president mortally wounded a founding father.
Yes, oxygen.
It ended Burr's career. That's true.
Yeah, and one really interesting detail was that Hamilton had lost his own son in a duel on those very same grounds.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that wild?
That is
like,
wild.
It's heartbreaking. Like you think about like the
Yeah.
cycles. We talked about breaking cycles,
Mm-hmm.
generational trauma cycles that we talked about yesterday with Evelyn. Unfortunately, they relived it. But you know,
Yes.
no.
And in 1965, I can't get
No.
no.
Satisfaction when I'm watching
No,
my
don't-
TV.
We're not We're
We're
not.
not doing the Britney version.
Brittany did an incredible cover of
did,
this.
yeah.
I'm telling you, it
It
was
was
for the
good.
VMAs. It was so good. And my friends all tried to tell me.
And in 1999, gold for the history books.
Yeah, the U.S. women's soccer team beat China in a penalty shootout at the Rose Bowl. Brandy Chastain's winning kick became one of the most iconic images in sports history.
And it was the winning kick, and it was the afterward where she took off her shirt and she had her sports bra.
Yeah.
People were all up in arms about it, but it was such a celebratory moment.
was awesome.
And I
sports
just
bra.
love that this was a moment that young girls could watch and be inspired by and say, like, look, that
Yeah.
could be me.
Badass,
Because
yeah.
our women's sports teams, like, look, our women's hockey team is up for the ESPY this year,
Yep,
right?
yep,
and
yep.
people are like, finally recognize women's sports. Finally.
Finally.
Due
Did you
time,
guys
but
hear
these women started it.
Another one of my favorites, Paris Hilton, is joining forces with Flava
Yeah,
Flav.
she donated 2.5 million Hilton
Oh,
points.
I didn't
saw
know about
that.
this.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
And
really cool.
Some science and innovation in 1962. The whole world just got a little smaller.
Yeah, Telstar 1 launched the world's first active communication satellite, beaming the first live TV signal across the Atlantic.
Wow.
Whoa.
So this was the first time that people on different continents all around the world could actually watch the same thing at the same time. Think about how we
That's
rely
cool.
on that nowadays so much. Like
Yeah.
when we call somewhere else in the world, we expect communication to be instant, but this was the first time it ever happened. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
And let's do some weird news in my news segment of what are people robbing stores with now. In 1991,
Not
a
a
man
Twitter
tried to rob
dinosaur?
a store with a live snake.
Yeah, he waved it at the cashier who calmly said, "I've seen worse," and refused. Police got him outside. The snake was returned to its owner unharmed. Yeah.
Oh my
can't.
gosh, you
Gross.
guys, that cashier, props to them. Because seriously, like
I
a
don't do
snake,
snakes.
I don't know.
What? There is a TikTok I follow of a cashier, and like what they experience
Yeah,
on a
I know.
daily
I bet.
basis is
No.
insane.
This is
Especially like
wild.
Circle K or you know what I mean,
Yes.
like or like a rundown gas
And
station.
in 2014, a sheep crashed a yoga class in England.
That's right. A whole flock wandered into an outdoor session mid downward dog, then wandered off. The instructor called it an unexpected natural energy.
Oh, this is kind of fun. You know, people pay for like goat yoga and puppy
Yeah,
yoga.
yeah.
Oh my God! Do you watch the puppy yogas?
Let's
with
do
the-
sheep yoga.
on the Instagram. There's this whole page and it's all just like a yoga class, but
Yeah.
they do bring in different puppies.
Yeah.
Those Belgian Malinois puppies, guys,
Oh
they
my
go
gosh,
for
they're so
everything.
playful, yeah.
But then the Basset Hound puppies, they just go and they lay on the people and go to sleep.
Oh,
It's
so
so
And like
cute.
the goats like jump over them. It's
Well,
cute.
so
Yeah.
cute. Just like this local music report, we got to strum it, drum it, hum it down. Sunny time for the local music
Hey.
report to make you proud on this Friday, July 10th. You got to give it up to these local musicians, especially the ones playing outdoors today. Woo, this is their living, so we got to
know,
support them. We
so
love
Do
it. She'll be on in August, releasing her new single on Sunny TV. Sage Tranell, she'll be playing she's playing right now at the Morning Jam Diner from 9 to 12.
Awesome.
Jim Johnson at Pierre's Pub at 11. Joshua Tennessee Worthy at Milltop Tavern at noon. The world famous Zaza Flamenca at La Cocina at 1. Heather Craig at Trade Winds Lounge at 1. Matt Still Meehan's Irish Pub
So
at 1
silly.
o'clock. Cliff Dorsey, Pierre's Pub at 2. Shyla Macaluso, Bin 39 Wine Bar at 4. Craig Han at the Shores Golf Club at 5. Rusty Philippus at A1A Asian Kitchen 5:30. Jeremy Price at Schooner's Seafood House at 6 o'clock. Joshua Tennessee Worthy at DJ's Clam Shack at 6. Fire Tent Revival at Funkadelic Food Shack at 6. Heather Craig at La Cocina Cellar upstairs at 6. New Guys on the Dock, OC White's at 6. Esh and Chef at Prohibition Kitchen at 6. Airtight at Pesca Volano tonight at 6 o'clock. Greg Johnson, Salt Life Food Shop at 6. Augie Style, Sabrage Charters at 7. Simply Shane at Two Creeks Bar and Grill at 7 o'clock. Wayne Lake at Casa Divino 57. Moonshine,
What?
Moonstone Riders at Colonial Oak Music Park tonight. We love the Oak at 7 o'clock. Matt Wilson, Cortesi's Bistro at 7 o'clock p.m. My Wife Stinks, playing at Hornsky's Brewing Company. What a name.
That's what
At-
it's called.
It's
Wild name.
7 o'clock
So
tonight.
stupid.
My Wife Stinks. Mike Hines at Meehan's Irish Pub at 7. Space Heaters at Pierre's Pub at 7. Live stream is going to be also at Tradewinds, so if you don't want to get out there, you can always go to tradewinds.com and figure it out. And finishing out tonight, we got Contact Buzz at the Bar with No Name. They don't care about the noise ordinance. They're playing anyway at 10
Yeah.
o'clock at the Bar with No Name. And of course, we have some great expectations for those local musicians.
People are looking for a company, I want people to have great expectations. We are a small family-owned brokerage. What that means is you get really personalized service and everything is very hands-on. You're not just getting tossed onto the MLS and crossing our fingers. We're very aggressive with our marketing. We're excellent with communication. We have a lot of amazing relationships in the community, so you're getting the advantages of all of those things.
Thanks, are on.
Guys, these commercial breaks. All right, we're going to get into Inspo with Ixiim.
Listen, even if we did in between, and we would not have our mics on, if we did like in between the commercials, like a background scenes camera, there would not be mics on.
I need
No.
Addie and a lawyer to be able to do something like that. Yes.
Take
Lots
it
of
away,
lawyers.
Ixiim.
Lots
All
of
right,
lawyers.
Ixiim, take it away.
All right, Sonnies, it's me. I'm back for another Inspo with Ixiim. And today, just follow me down this little rabbit hole, okay? So we're going to do something a
Girl,
little
we
different.
follow you anywhere.
You
You're
know,
amazing.
We did some pretty heavy historical stuff the last few weeks. We've had a lot of things going on. But I wanted to do maybe something a little bit closer to home, a little bit more about the present, and a little bit more summary. So today, I actually do want to start off by saying happy birthday to one person that we didn't talk about in the details by Dean, but it should be noted that today, Mary McLeod Bethune, whom we talked about
Right.
during
Yes.
Black History Month and Women's History Month, today she would have been 135, 136.
Wow.
Yeah. So today is her birthday. And as I was thinking about this, like one of the parts of her story that we talked about briefly during her segment was about something she did down in Volusia County. So, Sonnies, let's go back a little bit. You'll remember Mary McLeod Bethune. She was this activist. She was an educator. She was an advisor to Franklin Delano Roosevelt, which was one of our presidents.
Incredible.
She was really a phenomenal woman. She's one of our own right here in Florida, right here in this area. And one of the things she did that I think is really, really, it's not as talked about. Like we know she started that university, which is spectacular, and that university still exists to this day. It's a very well-known, very well-respected university.
So much university pride that we've got. We heard from so many of the alumni
Yeah,
over
they
there.
were so excited by our segment. So something else she did in that area, when she was first teaching down there in Volusia County, she noticed that a lot of her students were not able to go to the beaches. Now, it may seem like a very trite thing, but think about what was happening during that time. This was during the Jim Crow era. This was during the 30s and 40s. And you had people who were living in Volusia County where the beaches are right there.
Yeah.
And her students, her black students, her African-American students, were not able to actually partake in the beach. And the reason this was so powerful for her, she called the beach God's water. She felt like there was power and beauty and majesty in the beach.
My husband says it heals you because he loves the oceans.
Yes,
That
yeah,
is true.
And she felt like this was a resource that shouldn't be kept for just one group of people, that it was something that everyone should be able to enjoy. And the reason I thought this story was so powerful was, you know, we're talking about Parks and Rec Month this month, and part of that is about having these resources for everybody. Well, she was really leading the charge on that. So if you'll remember, Sonnies, we talked about how she banded together with several other business owners and civic leaders down in Volusia County. She created a coalition. They raised the money, and they bought 2.5 miles of beach that the blacks could go and visit during the weekends. 'Cause if you
How
think
amazing.
about
What a
this-
freedom
Yeah.
to be able to feel that,
Yeah,
right?
because back then everything was segregated. So we talked about how, you know, previously, if you were black and you were here in Florida, you could not go to the beach on any regular day. You were banned from being in the beaches.
That's
That's why
unbelievable.
they had things like wade-ins where people were going and
Yeah.
they were walking into the water. Well, back then they were only allowed to go to the beach on certain days. You could go a handful of days during the summer and on certain select holidays. So imagine not being able to go and experience putting your feet in the sand, putting your toes in the water, being able to like just watch the birds. Just you could, and it was right there. So she bought 2.5 miles of beach so that her community could go enjoy those same things, God's water, as she called it, that they could have this beautiful resource to rejuvenate, to ground, like Evelyn talked about yesterday. It's a grounding thing. It's good for the soul. It's a place where people celebrate, where people gather. It's a great communal thing. You know, families go there, friends go there. And so she brought this resource to her community, and it's still there to this day.
Yeah.
It is still a very highly populated beach. If you go down to Volusia County, it's beautiful, and it's interesting enough, the area around it has all been kind of gobbled up and purchased, and it's now a very highly sought after area. But back then, she was the first to really do something with this and brought it to her community. So I just thought it was a beautiful story.
Are homeowners weird about people going on? You know how like they get like, you know, this is my beach and
They're
stuff like
actually very protective of the beach. There's all kinds of historical landmarks around there. They have a bunch of signs around that beach that talk about the significance of this beach and the civil rights movement.
I definitely
and
wanna
then
go and
prior
visit
to.
this.
Yeah,
That's
it's
cool.
beautiful, right? So I just thought, like, as we were talking about, you know, I always plan these segments around what's happening in the world right now. You know, what's happening on that day, what's happening during this month. And so as I was thinking about National Parks and Rec Month, I kept coming back to, and it's also her birthday today, I thought, like, what a beautiful legacy that she left behind. This woman who we celebrate today, we're talking about something she brought to her community, and it shows how important she felt natural resources and parks were. And we, in our county here alone, we have 106 parks. St. Johns County Parks and Rec have hundreds of resources they bring to us, 106 parks, and then we have a multitude of playgrounds. That's not including the playgrounds, and that's not including the green spaces,
awesome.
not including the athletic fields. We have 106 parks alone. Several of them are beach parks, similar to the one in Volusia County. We have things like Butler Park, we have Volano Beach Park, we have all these different parks, and they're great free resources we have for the county. And this month there are a multitude of things that are happening across the county at the different parks. If you go onto the St. Johns County Parks and Rec website, you'll see there are a whole list of things that are going on this month. And a couple of them that I wanted to point out, just because I thought they were really fun, is like tomorrow there's a free Pirates and Mermaids Day at the Volano Beach Pier.
Yeah.
So it's Pirates and Mermaids and popsicles, so parents can take their kids down, dress them up like a pirate or mermaid. There's crafts, there's activities, there's free popsicles, and it's all about experiencing these resources we have available to them.
So cute.
There's also an All Abilities paddleboard that's happening later on this month. I think it's next weekend on the 17th, next Friday actually, so a week from today. There's an All Abilities paddleboarding session. This is a free session that people can sign up for. On the 18th, there is a Star Night at the Equestrian Center, and they're doing this in conjunction with our Ancient City Astronomy Club, so people can go and look at the stars and learn about
I
the
like
stars.
that there's like a cornucopia of options here.
Yes.
It's not just one designated like event. These are multiple different events.
And then we talked about the other day, I think Renee talked about the fishing, like a kids fishing tournament that's
Reel
happening
in the
on
fun
Sunday.
is what it was called, yes.
All month long, there are beach volunteer cleanup events. So there's all kinds of things happening there. And I just thought, like, this is a beautiful way to tell the story of what we have around us. The St. Johns County Parks and Rec does a great job at promoting the resources, protecting the resources, making sure these resources are available to all. Every one of these events, with the exception of, I think there's like a putting clinic, every one of these events is free.
Yeah.
Free 99.
Free 99. And
Free
why
99, yeah.
why this means so much to me, I talk about this a little bit, and I will talk about it more next month when the National Park Service has their anniversary. But I was a national park kid. I grew up in the parks. My dad worked for the Park Service, and we grew
cool.
up loving the outdoors, and not just experiencing the outdoors as scenery, but experiencing the outdoors as these beautiful resources that we were meant to protect and to conserve and to be stewards of. And it taught us to look at the world with a sense of wonder. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Aside from Miss Bethune's birthday and aside from Parks and Rec Month, I wanted to really talk about wonder as it relates to how we experience the world. Because here in our county, we have these amazing resources, but I don't know that we all see them. Like, I know we visit them. We talk about being seen. We talk about seeing people. We talk about seeing others, acknowledging people. But do we actually stop and really look at the resources
No, we take
in
them
our
for
own
granted.
towns?
I'm going to even speak for myself.
Yeah.
I'm there, I'm going,
Right, we get so focused on what we're going to. Like we're focused on some destination, some errand that we often stop we don't stop and look at what's around us. And even if you're not from town, if you live in a town that doesn't have a beach, I'm sure there are natural resources in your area, whether it's mountains or lakes or streams, or maybe it's a big beautiful field, it's a forest, whatever it is.
A garden.
The grounding garden was such a great idea.
Such a great idea.
But there are all these beautiful resources that exist, and we don't often stop to really experience them and see them. And so, like in our county alone, did you know that we have almost 42 miles of beach?
Wow.
That's just in our county.
I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah, and the state of Florida has 1,300 miles of beaches. 825 are like sandy beaches, and of that 825, 42 are right here in our own county.
Beautiful.
That's so cool.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And in our own county, we have all these different types of beaches too. And then we have something like the Guana Estuarine Reserve. There are only 30 of those in the U.S., and we have one right here. And for those who don't know what guana is, if you go up past Volano,
shit.
yes, well, guano.
Guano.
That's guano with an O. But guana
Baby
is an
Thunderdome,
estuarine
please.
reserve. It's a reserve where we are protecting this ecosystem out there. Scientists go and do all these amazing experiments. It's one of only 30 of these places in the U.S. where scientists are actually observing the environment, observing the ecosystem, and they can see fresh water, they can see salt water, they can see brackish water, which is a combination of the two. They can see this beautiful, diverse ecosystem that happens there, and people can go and do things there. There's paddle boarding. You can go out to the beach side. You can go to the intercoastal side. You can mountain bike. There are trails. There's all kinds of
It's
things you
awesome.
can do.
I take my girls. We do a
Oh,
dog walk there. It's
good.
beautiful.
Good. A lot of people actually don't know that this place exists.
It's extraordinary, and
Yeah.
it is a really cool place for meditation and walking and just being grounded, like what we were
Yes.
talking about. But yeah, my girls and I, we try to get there at least a couple times a season. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, yes, Nicole. We can drive on the beach in Florida. We have to get passes. My husband has one. You have to have 4x4.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he surfs a lot, so he doesn't want to have to park. He like parks on the beach, so it's easier.
Yes, and we're going to talk about the beach driving because that's important right now during this time of year as well. So yes, we can drive on the beach. We're one of the few counties that you can drive on the beach. I think here, and I want to say Daytona, like Fort Lauderdale, are the only other places in Florida where they let you drive on the beach. But there are, of course, some restrictions about car types
Yeah, don't
and
drive
everything.
your Tesla on the beach.
Yeah, no.
People do that
I've
all
seen
the
that. I've seen a
time.
Corvette on the beach, like and an RV. It's no.
There's actually a subgroup called "Got Stuck in St.
Yeah,
Augustine
there's a
Beach."
whole-
It's
there's a whole
hysterical.
subgroup
Yeah.
about it.
Hilarious.
But,
They
you know-
must make a fortune. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like I don't know. Sarah Cheshire is in comments right now. Yeah, does Cheshire's Towing like literally clean up on the beach? Like, I just
Can
curious.
they go on? Sarah, can you guys go on the beach?
Yeah, like is there specific tow
truck?
companies? I'm sorry, we just digressed,
Yeah.
but that's just a question.
So there are. But so back to what you were doing with the dogs. You take them out there, and one of the things that, so when you're out there, Davey, are you really thinking about anything, or are you just sort of
Oh, yes.
experiencing?
Oh, no, I'm really thinking. It's
Yeah.
definitely a meditational moment
It's
for
meditation,
me.
right?
It's me thinking about who we're going to interview next, how I'm going to, what questions to ask. I mean, I really kind of, dog walks for me are very sacred times for me to, I really am working, but it's also putting everything in motion
Yeah.
in an organized and efficient front.
Yeah, so some people use it for like that. I call it like walking meditations or moving meditations because you're thinking about something and you're kind of just letting the answers come to you.
Yeah.
But there's also a practice of just going out and allowing yourself to experience every aspect of what you're seeing. So like I said, a lot of us go to the beaches and we visit the beaches, but do we actually stop and like listen to the waves and look at the birds and watch the clouds go by? There's something about that scientists call the state of awe. And that state of awe actually physically changes us. It changes like the chemistry in our brains. It allows us to relax. It allows our brains to reset. Because when we're doing that, when we are observing these things that are happening, you go into something that's called soft fascination, which I think is just a phenomenal term. And soft fascination is when you are like locked into something, but it didn't demand your attention. When something captures your attention, but it didn't demand it. So like think about our phones.
It's like when I'm watching Netflix and I'm on my phone at the same time.
Yeah.
It doesn't demand my attention. It's just there. And
Yeah.
it will catch my attention when someone's getting murdered or something.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but like our phones are always this darn thing. Our phones are always asking us for attention, right? It's
Yeah.
always got a ping. There's always a notification. It's like
Right.
this instant thing. It's always kind of drawing you and trying to capture you. Soft fascination is when something captures your attention without demanding. So it's when you see a rainbow in the sky, it captures your attention. When you see a beautiful sunrise, it captures your attention. If you're out at night and you see some stars or the moon, this beautiful thing that just kind of stops you and goes, that's called soft fascination.
see, that's what jewelry is to me.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
could be,
It
yeah.
catches my attention, and I go every time I see something like amazing, and that really stops me in my
and
tracks.
that could be so anytime you find a state, something that brings you awe and fascination and wonder, scientists have actually noted that people who experience awe and wonder more frequently in their life, and it's all just about noticing, right? People who experience this more in their life have lower levels of stress, are more generous,
I
are
believe
generally
this.
kinder, connect more with other individuals. Because it sort of like rewires you to see things and to realize that we're all somehow interconnected, just experiencing wonder. And, we talk about this a lot on the show, Sunny's curiosity and noticing things. And that's really what wonder is. It's just stopping and noticing something around you, noticing the sky, noticing the sunrise, noticing a beautiful piece of jewelry, noticing the person in front of you for whom they are. But it's just that state of like looking at it from the eyes of awe, soft fascination, and having wonder at that. And right now, like you all know, Sunnies, I love the beach. The beach is my happy place. It's where I go to run or walk right now because of my injury. It's where I go to experience my states of wonder, my state of awe. It's where I go to find my soft fascination. I go out there and I watch the sunrise and I see the birds and I listen to the waves. And right now, it's even more special because it's turtle nesting season.
Yeah, very special.
Yes, and so for those of you Sunnies who aren't as familiar with our turtle nesting season, it's a very big deal here in Florida, and especially here in St. Johns County. Started May 1st and it goes through October 31st. And our sea turtles are just absolutely beloved here in our county. And we do a lot to protect them because they are sacred animals for us. And there are several things that are really, really important about our county. So did you know that of all, there are 5 types of sea turtles that have been found in the U.S. on our shores. And we are the only place, Florida, that has all 5 sea turtles who nest here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. Like,
That is impressive.
people might think Hawaii or somewhere else, but we actually have all different 5 types of sea turtles that exist. All 5 of them have nested here in Florida at some point in time.
Is that natural or is that because of our conservation efforts?
Some of it's conservation. So 4 of them are natural. And then the one called the Kemp's Ridley, which was an endangered sea turtle from Mexico. It used to be seen all up and down there and around the Ensenada area. At one point in time, there were like 40,000 turtles, and then it got down to just several thousand, several hundred. So there were conservation efforts. They brought them to the Gulf, and they started, bringing sea turtles out there to try to incubate them and try to regrow the population. And over time, some of those sea turtles made their way out here to Florida, which is interesting because sea turtles, little known fact, is they have this thing called this natural homing, where they somehow know where they were born. And when sea turtles lay their nests, they go back to the place where they were hatched.
That's interesting.
It's this scientists study this. They don't know why. So
like an invisible string just
it's
pulls on there.
sea turtles have this invisible GPS, this invisible, like they say, it's tied to the Earth's magnetism, that somehow these sea turtles know to go back to where they were hatched. So the sea turtles that are laying eggs now here on our beaches, they were born here on our beaches. Isn't that just such a beautiful life cycle? I mean, and sea turtles don't just start laying nests like years later. It's like 12 years later before they start laying a nest. So the sea turtle's born, it goes out in the wild, it's living out in the ocean, and like 12 years later, it might start laying nests. It knows to come back home.
Wow.
It comes back here. And it's just, I think that's such a special thing. Like these sea
feels
turtles,
safe here, I
they feel
guess.
safe here. There's
Yeah.
something beautiful about it. But something interesting about sea turtles too is they lay these nests. So an adult female will come, she'll lay her nest. Each nest has about 100 eggs in it. That's give or take.
Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
know that much.
Yeah, so
That's crazy.
she lays a nest, 100 eggs. She goes back out to the ocean. She does not return to the nest.
That's
the mama,
it?
The mama leaves her babies there, and she goes off.
She
into
says,
the back
bye,
of the
figure it
ocean.
out, kids.
Wow. She's like an 80s mom.
That is,
Yeah.
she's like an 80s mom. So that's a great point, Mel. So these sea turtles, these little baby hatchlings, when they come out, they are there on their own, fighting for their lives. But they know there's something in them that knows that I'm going to go to that ocean. That's in me. I'm going there. That's my place. And while we talked about on the show a couple of weeks ago about someone using a light on the beach, the reason we don't is sea turtles, part of their navigation process is they're looking for the reflection of the moon on the water.
Okay.
And that's how they know where to go.
So they move at night.
They move
like,
at night.
At like midnight-ish,
At
right?
midnight.
Where's your light?
So I have my turtle light. So the reason why during sea turtle season they ask you
look
to
at
use
this with the red.
lights because turtles can't see red light.
Oh, okay.
They can see the white light because the white light looks like the moon, right? And so
Right.
when people are on the beach with flashlights or even your phone light, if your phone is on, it creates a white light. If there's a sea turtle hatching happening, if there's sea turtles out there, it could disorient them and cause them to go the wrong direction
Oh, no.
and not make it to the water.
And you really can't handle them. You can't touch them.
You cannot touch them. So you just have to let them go naturally. And that's why we are so protective about beach etiquette during this time of year for the sea turtles. Like, this is such a magical creature and that magical cycle of life that we get to experience. I've been super fortunate to be able to see some of this. You'll see in some of the pictures, Sunnies, that I've shared. Those are pictures I've taken during my morning walks or when I'm really early in the morning. I've been able to see some of the mama sea turtles making their way back. I've seen some of the baby sea turtles who were like the last in their little hatch trying to make it out to the water. And these are just like being able to experience that and see that. It's something everyone should be able to do. Like, we're so fortunate to do that, but we want to protect it. So experiencing the world with wonder is great, but we also want to share that wonder with others. And sharing it for the sea turtles means doing things to protect it, like using the right lights at the beach, making sure we're not, disorienting the sea turtles, filling in your holes at the beach. I get super upset about this because people they'll put an umbrella in the sand, they'll put their chair in the sand, they'll put their feet in the sand, they make little divots. Well, those little divots and those little holes are death traps for sea turtles.
Yeah.
Those little tiny sea turtles, if they fall in one, they cannot get out.
So we have pictures of you on the beach with the sea turtle trails. Are we supposed to fill those in too?
No. So those are pretty soft. They're not deep, and so the tide and usually when you see those, that's a nest just being built. Nest takes 60 days. Those babies incubate for 60 days before they're hatching. So actually, right now we're starting to see some of the hatchlings come out because they started in May. So the first nests were occurring in May, and now we're about 60 days later. So we're starting to see baby sea turtles hatching.
Little
and
guys.
we're actually having a record year. I was talking with Turtle Patrol yesterday morning. Shout out to Claire.
Hey, Claire. Yeah,
Claire
Turtle
is
Patrol.
famous. If you are on the beach anywhere on St. Augustine Beach, you know Claire because
Turtle
she's
Patrol.
out there every morning, and she's there from Pope Road to Cubbage Road. That's her stretch. Cubbage goes right past 206 Bridge. So she's there every morning. And I was asking Claire about it because I feel like I've seen more sea turtle tracks this year. And she said, yes, that we are having a record year in St. Johns County.
That's fabulous.
We have over 1,000 nests right now. So if you look on the website for the county, I think it says we're at like 690, but that was updated on June 19th. As of yesterday, July 9th, we had over 1,000 nests. And just in that stretch from Pope to Cubbage, we have 84 nests alone. So it is just like
So leave them
spectacular.
alone, people.
Leave the poor turtles
So,
alone.
do they map out where these nests are? They're like cones or like
Yes.
Okay, because
So,
I'm afraid now
they do
to
the
like
different
screw something.
colored,
You know me,
like
some
ribbon
big ass.
stuff,
I'm gonna
too.
mess
Yeah,
something
and I
up.
think I have a picture. I'm not sure if it's in there, but there. So what they do is the Sea Turtle Patrol, when they go out in the mornings, they look for the tracks. They look to see if there's a nest, and there's something called a false crawl. So sometimes if a sea turtle's out and she gets spooked or something dissuades her from building her nest there, she'll go back out to the water without building a nest, and that's called a false crawl. So these Sea Turtle Patrol volunteers, they go out and they check to see is there really a nest here, and if there is, they put little stakes in the ground and they cordon it off and they put a sign there, and sometimes they'll put green cones and they'll mark which type of sea turtle nest this is because they're tracking mostly on our beaches. We have loggerhead, but we do also have green turtles. We do also have every once in a while Kemp's Ridley was down in Matanzas Inlet. We have hawksbill, we have leatherback turtles, we have mostly loggerhead, so that's our primary one. And they mark these nests so that people don't touch them, that people don't drive them over them, that people ideally don't let their dogs dig in there, because these nests just
Gucci.
have
She
to
would go right
incubate
away.
for 60 days. Like there's, mama turtle doesn't sit on the nest. These nests are kind of out in the open for, unfortunately, anything to get. So the Sea Turtle Patrol does a good job at marking them. If you walk out to the beach right now, you'll see there are a bunch of them everywhere.
Okay.
And it's really important that we don't get too close.
How far away do we have to be?
You want to be,
Like COVID, 6 feet?
yeah, you want to be at least that far away, just because you don't want to disrupt the nest.
Right,
Especially
yeah.
now as they're starting to hatch, you want to make sure these babies have all
I
the
just don't
time
want to
in there.
screw anything up. These poor babies. They're by
Yeah.
themselves.
They're
They don't
by
even have
themselves
mom.
out there, and I just think like it is really a beautiful thing to see on our beaches. If you live anywhere nearby, get out to the beaches and see this. There are ways you can go volunteer. We do have Sea Turtle Patrols here in St. Johns County. There's Sea Turtle Patrol up like off of Michler up there, like more to Ponte Vedra area.
That's right. I gotta tag them into. I just
Yeah,
saw
there
that.
are Sea Turtle Patrols, and these are all volunteer groups. It's people who want to go and partake in this. And as the nests start to hatch, the St. Johns County and the volunteer groups will post that they're anticipating a hatch coming up soon. And so they do invite people to come up and
But
watch.
don't do anything. Just look at it.
Well,
Yeah.
do it with the professional.
The
like,
professionals,
okay.
so that when there is a hatching happening,
I
the
wanna see that.
volunteers go out and they create kind of like a line.
Okay.
So
Like the
that
red
people,
carpet.
so that people cannot, yeah, almost like a red carpet. So they kind of protect the path of the hatchlings, so other people don't get too close, because they want these hatchlings to make it to the water, as many of them as possible. Because only 1 out of every 1,000 hatchlings will make it to adulthood. I know, it's really it's a really interesting kind of sad stat, but it's also interesting because these sea turtle hatchlings, they do not know what the future holds for them, and yet they go to that water full charge.
They just
Yeah.
run.
And think about how we can apply that to our lives. So many times we don't do the thing, like Arthur Ashe's comment, because we're waiting for perfection, right? Everything has to be perfectly lined up, and we're
Right.
not sure what the end result's going to be, so we don't even want to try. These sea turtle hatchlings, only 1 in 1,000 is going to make it, and they just go. There's
do it.
no
Yeah.
certainty that they're going to live a certain life, that they're going to make it past a certain age.
They
just
don't know
go.
that there's predators in that water going
Right.
to chomp them
Right.
up.
Think about how small these little hatchlings are, and there's
Right.
some big things out there. So they could be like a lot of us, afraid and not do anything. They could be afraid and hang out in the nest. No, they're innate
They're like,
nature.
get out of my way.
I know.
Yeah.
Zoom it out, zoom it out.
I saw one, and I was just cheering it on. It was like the last of its little flock, because you could see the rest of them like rippling out in the water, and he was like the last little guy like hanging in the back, and I was just cheering him on because his little flippers were going so fast and he was so cute just on the sand. But it's just a beautiful thing, like experiencing that. It's just one of those reminders that we are all connected, that we are all part of this bigger thing. Another one of those fun scientific terms was the small self, that when we experience things like this, things like watching the sea turtles, things like seeing the night skies, things like seeing those big, like there were some meteors and all kinds of weird things that were happening, right? When we see those things, it allows us to get out of our own heads, to take perspective on our own lives, that maybe those big problems that we thought we had aren't as big because we are just but one speck in the universe.
That's true.
And that's what the small self is. It's understanding we are just one tiny speck in this massive, beautiful universe.
Now, what happens when it rains?
I might be 2 specks, but go
If
ahead.
it rains, do the sea turtles still go?
Yes.
Or do they wait?
No, they still go.
Like if it's downpouring.
No, they still go. It's
still go?
Yeah, it's all
They
happening
said
They
nothing
got a
underground.
stops
Nothing
shell.
stops
They
them.
can just woof inside the shell.
Yeah, so that's kind of, I
love
know
it.
we went sort of everywhere today. We talked
Sure,
about
but it was
beaches, the
great.
parks, the turtles. I'm very passionate about the turtles and the beach. But, it's all about approaching the world from a state of wonder. We talk about curiosity a lot. We talk about seeing things, seeing people. Sonny's, one of the things we want you all to carry is to experience the world with the eyes of someone looking for awe, the eyes of someone looking for wonder. Keep being curious about the world. Keep looking for those moments of wonder in your own town, in your own city. And maybe it's not the beach, maybe it's a mountain, maybe it's a river, but there are places where you can go where the world can get quiet and you can kind of lock in on what's really important and you can appreciate the gifts and the magic that exists outside today.
I love this.
Absolutely. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Ixiim, for that beautiful segment. Guys, we're going to take a quick break with Maritime Creative and Flashes and Brilliance. Maritime Vibe Check!
Fresh version.
When the lights come on and the magic begins,
There's a crew behind the scenes that always wins.
Maritime Creative. They set the stage.
From sound to lights to video waves.
Big show, small space, doesn't matter a bit.
They show up, they glow up, they make it all lit.
No panic, no chaos, just smooth, clean flow.
They take a wild idea and make it glow.
Need a vibe, they build it.
Have a dream, they get it.
From spark to spotlight, they never forget it.
I trust them, I love them, they come on through.
Maritime Creative, that's the real stuff, boo.
So if you want your moment to rise and shine,
call the crew that always gets it right every time. It's Maritime. Got gold? Got silver? Got a drawer full of what even is this? Then it's time to cash in with Flashes and Brilliance, Northeast Florida's most trusted gold buyers. They're not just buying gold, they're buying silver, rare coins, fine watches, estate jewelry, and all the sparkle you forgot you had. Don't just sit on your treasure. Turn it into cash today. Call John and Steph, the pros who make it easy. 904-540-7617. It's fast, it's friendly, it's Flashes and Brilliance, because your buried treasure belongs in your bank account. All right. I got a big shout out to Misty. Misty sends me some great news articles, guys. And I have to say thank you, because some of them are very, very interesting to chat about, like this one. Here we go. A keychain, a meltdown, and a family's heartbreaking day at a theme park. All right. This one's tough, and I want us to sit together with this one. It happened right up the road at Universal's brand new Epic Universe in Orlando. And it's a story every family, especially every family raising a child with special needs, is going to feel in their gut. Here's what happened. A Florida mom named Nikki Dow was at the park in late December with her family, including her daughter, who was 6 at the time, and who Nikki describes is severely autistic. They were in a crowded gift shop, and her little girl latched onto a Mario keychain. Cue picture. There we go. Not to steal it, Sonnies. They fully intended to buy it, okay? But anyone who loves a child on the spectrum knows exactly what is happening. That little girl had bonded with that toy. She was saying it over and over again, "My Mario, my Mario." And Nikki could feel a meltdown coming. So mom did the smart move, loving and protective thing. She stepped outside with her daughter to keep her calm, while her husband, Alan, who himself is disabled and uses a wheelchair, stayed behind at the register to pay for it. That's it. That's the whole quote unquote crime, Sonnies. A mom trying to prevent her child from hurting herself, standing a few feet outside the shop to keep the peace while dad was standing there to pay. But a plainclothes, dopey security guard approached Nikki and accused her of shoplifting, and it spiraled from there. She says he dangled the keychain in front of her screaming child. Her husband came out and showed him a receipt. He'd even bought 2 more keychains to make it right. It didn't even matter. The family then were taken in for questioning, formally trespassed from all Universal property, told a fine was coming, and that's the part that stops my heart. The park took back the rented wheelchair and the daughter's disability stroller, so this mom and her disabled husband had to take turns carrying their kicking, screaming, terrified child out of the park by hand. And Sonnies, they left the next morning on their daughter's 7th birthday. Now the family isn't asking for money. What they're asking for is a reason for change.
The family says they were trespassed from all Universal properties, and the park took back the rented wheelchair and baby and disability stroller. Because they
That
were
is
staying
so
on Universal
horrible.
property,
That's
they
cruel.
spent a tense night at their hotel, unsure if they'd be arrested for violating the trespass notice.
This is
A
ridiculous.
few days later, Universal's lawyers sent a letter demanding $200 for a civil claim.
What?
The
Are you
family's
kidding me
attorney,
here?
Rick Block of Morgan & Morgan, where Nikki also works as a paralegal.
Oh, no way. Oh!
No.
You'll be fine, Miss Nikki. Oh, my God.
Notes that intent is fundamental to Florida's theft statute, and there was no intent to steal since they were waiting for dad to pay. In response, Block asked only for an apology, recession of the trespass, and a donation to an autism charity. The family chose nothing for financial for themselves.
So they didn't take any windfall from the Universal.
No, they wanted a donation to an autism charity that the family chose. They wanted a public apology, and they
This
wanted
is-
the trespass
This
order
is
to be
horrible.
lifted.
You know,
This
this
is
is
horrible.
this is one of those examples where people are not. It shows what happens when you don't train people how to properly, interact in a situation
with humans.
With human beings,
FYI,
yeah.
That whatever security guard, he's like the mom didn't punch him right in the
Oh
throat.
heck yeah!
Okay, in Florida, criminal theft requires intent to permanently
Yes.
deprive a store of its property. A key legal distinction in a case like this, Universal has partnered with IBCCES, an organization that certifies businesses on disability and autism access. Its president told us that the autism training for public-facing staff is key in helping understand everybody that visits the park. Many major theme parks offer disability accommodation passes designed specifically to help guests avoid long waits and crowded, overstimulating situations. This is unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
You guys, once again, I'm gonna say like I always say it. This is the world we live in.
It's
Yeah.
horrible. But you know where this would not have happened?
Where?
At
Old Town Trolley.
Because they're autism
Yes.
certified
Yeah.
attraction. And
True
this
story.
This proves that you can train people properly on how to accommodate people with different abilities. And like this is infuriating. Universal's a large enough corporation.
You would think.
that they should have some sort of awareness around this. Like
Absolutely.
this is horrible.
And I do really want to drive the Old Town Trolley situation
Yeah.
here because they train all of their
Yep.
staff to be sensitive for situations like this. They seriously shattered a glass ceiling in town, and
Yeah.
now I'm happy to say that a majority of the St. Augustine Attractions Association are on the road to follow suit with all of this
That's
because
great.
that is how important this is
Look at that.
in this
Yeah.
town.
Leaders, yeah.
And families that visit here and recognizing that we have families from all over the grid, you know?
You know what kind of drives me bananas about the story? Well, a lot of things. But in the world we live in today, autism is more prevalent.
Yeah, we see a
lot
lot
of
of it,
these
yeah.
situations are neurodivergent children are more prevalent, even adults, than they were 10 years ago.
Yes.
So you would think.
You would think.
These
Mel.
large-
Yeah.
Like
Shocking.
at Zone,
Yeah.
for instance, at Zone years ago, we
Yeah.
went
Skyscrapers.
through. We did an
Oh, beautiful
autism
team, right.
certification.
Right.
Yeah.
So our whole staff had to be certified. But you would think it would be kind of a common thing now in different parts of in all these different aspects of businesses.
Yeah, or just different.
Especially when you work with people.
Right.
know.
Stupid.
Gotta be sensitive to everybody, and especially we're in a hospitality industry like
Yeah.
that. Be hospitable.
I know.
I mean, if you really think about the stupid keychain, what was it? Mel, put that picture up again.
The Mario.
What was this keychain worth to them wholesale? less than 50 cents probably. And like really over this, that is
That's
so
ridiculous.
My mom says, and then we have to
Disgusting.
look at how the parents handled it.
Yeah,
they
Well,
need
I'm
to-
wanting money for themselves.
Yeah, true story,
keeps
Maria.
disappearing.
And I'm gonna say I'm gonna think twice about Universal. I mean,
Yeah.
getting any of my money.
Yeah,
I'm
yep,
telling you.
I'm
But
with
I
ya.
want to go back to what we were highlighting. Let's go to Old Town Trolley and the St. Augustine Attractions Association. Sit back and relax and take it easy, baby, and let it go as Old Town Trolley's licensed and talented tour conductors share over 500 years of St. Augustine history. Guests will enjoy the city's European flavor, brick-lined streets, and sites such as the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Henry Flagler's former Ponce de Leon Hotel. This 90-minute tour features 22 stops and covers more than 100 points of interest. Guests can use their ticket all day for on and off reboarding. You got to check out hometownpass.com. St. Augustine isn't just a destination, it's an experience. From historic streets to the unforgettable adventures, the city is full of moments waiting to happen. But here's the move. Don't just guess your way through it. Go where the Sunnies find the most trusted attractions. The St. Augustine Attractions Association. Dozens of the best experiences all in one place. From history to hidden gems and everything in between. Plan smarter, explore deeper, experience more. Go to StAugustineflattractions.com because here you don't just visit St. Augustine, you live it. DJ Snack Pack and a big tribute to
Miss Bonnie Tyler. And I need you now tonight.
and I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever.
And we'll only be making it right. Cause we'll never be wrong. Together we can take it to the end of the line. Your love is like a shadow on me all the time.
All the time.
I don't know what to do and I'm always in the dark. Oh my goodness.
We're living in a powder keg and giving up sparks.
We lost Bonnie Tyler yesterday, 2 days ago.
2
She
days
passed
ago.
on
2 days ago?
July
Yeah.
8th at 75. So this one is up with love.
Golly, we love you, Bonnie. What a beautiful
Born
lady.
Gaynor Hopkins in Wales, she had an unmistakable raspy voice, the result of surgery on her vocal cords that permanently changed her sound and became her signature.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Total Eclipse of the Heart was written by Jim Steinman, the same mastermind behind Meatloaf's biggest hits. He originally conceived it as a vampire song.
Oh, interesting.
That's where all that gothic drama comes
God,
from.
it's such a
A
great
vampire
song.
song. That's interesting.
Yes, Bonnie Tyler, rest in peace,
I
girl.
know.
And
Well, you know you can run and you can hide, but I'm not leaving unless you come with me. We had our problems, but I'm on your side. You're all I need. Please believe in me.
Phil Collins, Something Happened on the Way to Heaven.
Oh, I love this song.
This came off of Phil's Monster album, But Seriously. A record that also gave us Another Day in Paradise. Oh, that song.
Such a good song.
Such a good
Fun
song.
detail, guys. That song, Punchy Horn Section, is what makes this one so irresistible.
I know.
Phil leaned hard into his soulful, brass-driven sound here, a love letter to Motown and R&B that he grew up on.
Such a good one.
Phil Collins, you ready, is the only one of a handful of artists to sell over 100 million records, both as a solo act and part of his band Genesis.
That's
Mel,
nice,
how's
yeah.
his health doing? I'm so worried
So
about
is
him.
he in hospice?
Another legend. I'm so worried.
He's hospice has stepped in a few months ago. Jim follows him. He's an amazing drummer. He can play all
Right, yeah.
instruments. But
So,
they
tell-
took him.
the hospice.
They took him. He is in hospice. They took him to his original studio.
Prayers up for Phil
and they
Collins.
had his original drum kit sitting there, and
Listen,
he couldn't sit
I
behind it.
say this every time on the
Yeah.
show. We're losing our legends. We have got. That's why we do snack packs so we can celebrate these people. I mean, freaking Madonna.
I know.
What a comeback story. I don't care if you're
So
rolling
good.
your eyes, you don't know enough about this superhuman comeback. Did you know in the 1990s, Ixiim?
You mean 19?
1990s. She never had a Billboard #1 hit. Did you know that?
The highest she got
in
was
the
5.
height of her career in the 90s, she never had a Billboard #1. And look what's going to happen on Tuesday. I cannot wait for this celebration when they announce it. She is going to be #1 on the Billboard Top 200 at 67 years young.
It just shows you. You
Ah.
don't give up and you keep it pushing.
This album is a work of art. I mean, you and I have been listening to it nonstop. I have not listened to Rosalia at all this week, which I've got to get back on. But like, oh my God, this album is absolutely epic. It's amazing.
so good.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, I love him. Bailamos. Let the rhythm take you over. Bailamos.
Te quiero,
Amor mío. Bailamos.
wanna live this night forever. Bailamos.
Not us sounding just like Enrique Iglesias, guys.
He always did the like, would you dance?
This was Enrique's big English language breakthrough in America. Before this,
Oh my
he was
God.
already a superstar singing in Spanish.
Yeah, well, we broke up. We got a major divorce in my 20s. We were together. We were hot fire. Then Anna Cornucopia, whatever her name is, kind of getting in the
What's
middle
up with
of
these
it.
shenanigans, boo-boo?
Okay, Monster-in-Law. Get
Oh,
this
no.
one, you guys. Oh, my God. Okay.
Okay.
Gather around.
Oh,
'Cause
doing
this is
that.
a love story. Well, sort of. It's a wedding story mostly, but really it's a revenge story, and it comes from Naples, Florida. Meet Haley Cadwell.
Florida again, guys.
29 years old, a bride, a vision in white, a woman who, on the happiest day of her life, finally reached the end of a very long rope. Okay, and who was holding the other end of the rope? Well, her mother-in-law, or has been most affectionately known through this entire engagement as the monster-in-law.
Ew, no.
Yeah, hot mess. Get ready. This woman had been a project for 18 months. This mother-in-law had opinions on the dress. It was too white. On the cake, oh, too sweet. On Haley herself, and I quote her alleged words, not what she pictured her son with. She called the bridesmaids the clearance rack. She RSVP'd for a +1 that was her own personal grievance. Oh my God. And on the wedding day itself, she showed up in a white gown. Rude. Sonny's white. To add to another woman's wedding, that is just disrespectful. That's not a fashion choice. That's a declaration of war. So Haley went radiant, glowing, one bobby pin away from a nervous breakdown, and is standing in the hallway of a gorgeous venue when Monster-in-Law corners her for one last critique. Something about the centerpieces and something in Haley just clicked. And now here's where a legend is born. There happened to be right there in that hallway a janitor's closet. Door wide open, mops were ready, and Haley, in a moment of what I can only describe as bridal clarity, gently, and I stress the reports gently, guided her mother-in-law into that closet, shut the door, and locked it.
Yes!
Then she smothered her dress, fixed her veil, and walked back into the reception like nothing happened, cool as a cucumber in a walk-in cooler. Now Sonny's for a solid white. Nobody noticed there was cake, there was a DJ, and every so often a guest would pause and say, do you hear that faint screaming? And another guest would sip their champagne and go, probably the band just warming up. And they just kept dancing. That's the part that gets me. They heard her, and they just let it ride.
I love
it.
it.
The monster-in-law was in there long enough to organize the cleaning supplies by size. Faint, muffled hollering became the reception's ambient soundtrack. Somebody thought it was a Bluetooth speaker with a bad connection. Oh, gosh. Guess who cracked the case?
my gosh.
The ring bearer, of course. 7 years old. This tiny little hero
like
with
my grandma.
Stupid idiot. This tiny little hero with a clip-on bow tie is wandering through the hallway looking for the bathroom. Hears the commotion, and being 7 and afraid of nothing, unlocks the door and storms out the monster-in-law. Did we get a picture of her
Yeah,
up
I
yet?
already put it
She's
up.
a hot mess. Hair like a startled owl, draped in cobwebs in righteous fury, holding the reasons that no one else can explain, and a toilet brush. And, of course, guess what she did? She pressed charges. So let the record show Haley Caldwell got married, got a cake, and got a court date, and all in one magical evening. The moral of the story, Sonnies, if your mother-in-law wears white to your wedding, keep her away from any janitor's closets. And if you ever hear faint screaming at a reception, maybe it's just, maybe don't go check. Just stay out of it. Yeah.
You know
Oh
what?
my
I bet
gosh.
she was smiling her wedding gown in that mugshot. She's like,
Terrible.
all right, so here we go. Let's do a new segment, shall we?
Okay.
Mad Mel's Movie Meltdown.
Oh, Lord, brace yourself.
You're all going to come for me because this is a beloved movie, but I'm going to break it, twist it, turn it every which way and make you understand why. Mm-hmm. We're talking about Miss Doubtfire today.
Ooh, child, shot fired. Here she goes.
So sit down, pour something strong, because today I'm reviewing a film that America has been gaslit into calling heartwarming. And for over 30 years, I'm here to set the record straight.
Oh my God, she's speaking over
Miss
this movie.
Doubtfire, guys, more like Mrs. Red Flag. We open Daniel, our so-called hero, a grown man, a father of 3, and then what does Daniel do for a living? Nothing.
Oh.
He quits his job in the first 10 minutes because he's at a moral disagreement.
Oh my God.
With a cartoon. The whole inciting incident, Sonnies. This man looked at his mortgage, his 3 freaking children, and said, you know what would fix this? Unemployment.
Hey, yeah.
Meanwhile, where's Miranda, the wife? Oh, she's working.
Yeah. She's out there making the bread.
Yeah, she's being a successful interior designer. She's holding down an actual career, paying for that gorgeous San Francisco house. And here's the part of this movie that really sends me. It's their son's birthday, and does Daniel plan a nice little theme party? No. The lunatic brings a full-on petting zoo. All animals running through the freaking house, shitting, pissing, eating the things, jumping on the furniture, ripping off the damn curtains. The neighbors have called someone the house that Miranda paid for.
Yep, true.
Now a barnyard.
Yeah.
And Daniel's standing in the middle of it
I'd
going...
be pissed too if I was Miranda.
And Daniel says, isn't this fun, honey? And then
No.
Miranda comes home from a long day and, financially supporting the entire family.
Right.
And she's understandably upset that there's livestock in her foyer.
The older I get, I see
Yeah,
Miranda's point
I
here.
know.
He wants you to think she's the villain. She's uptight and she's
She
no
ain't the
fun.
villain.
Girl, you ain't uptight. You're called being an adult.
You know, pissing and shit in my house.
So, here we go. What does Daniel do? He's such a winner. He commits fraud, elaborate prosthetics, primetime fraud, and instead of getting a job, this man puts on a full latex disguise and a fake accent and lies his way in his ex-wife's home
Jail.
because Miranda divorced Daniel.
That's creepy.
So he's a con artist. And Miranda, the sweetheart working employed Miranda, actually thrives because the new nanny
Yeah.
is the first time someone in years is helping her.
Yeah, sure.
So you all thought Mrs. Doubtfire was a nice, heartwarming film.
It ain't.
It's
No.
not. It's about deceit,
Yep.
lies, men. It's about, oh, you know what? Transgender.
Oh, well, yeah, we're bringing that into the forefront. All
Why
right.
not? I mean, China. It's about France. Colombia.
All
That's about
right,
it all.
Sonnies, before we let you go, I want to talk to you about the tide today. We heard Inspo with Ixiim today, so I'm going to bring this home and send you on to a beautiful weekend, or actually right before Afternoon Delight. You stood on our beaches and watched it twice a day, every single day. The ocean pulls all the way out, and when the tide is low, Sonnies, it can look like a loss. The water retreats, the shoreline goes quiet, the boats sit tilted in the mud, and if you didn't know any better, you'd swear the sea was leaving for good. But here's where every fisherman, every shrimper, every old salt in this town knows in their bones the tide is not leaving. The tide is just breathing. The water that didn't abandon the shoreline, it's gathering itself out there in the deep, doing the quiet work you can't see, and it is always coming back. You never have once in the whole history of the coastline watched a tide go out and not come home once. So if you're in a low tide season right now, Sonnies, if things feel like they pulled back, if the abundance you used to have seems to have drained out somewhere you can't reach, I need you to hear the ocean's oldest promise. Low tide is not the end of the water. It's the pause before the return. And here's the gift that most people miss. Low tide is when you find all the treasures, the shells, the shark teeth, the sand dollars, all the things that high water was hiding. You can only collect them when the tide goes out. So even if your empty seasons are handing you something to keep, the water is always coming back, Sonnies. It always does. Stand your ground and get ready to rise with it.
I love
I
it.
love that.
All right, Sonnies. Sunshine Brigade is going to roll back in at 3 o'clock today for the show that's on in the afternoon. All the cool kids, all the Sonnies, we know it as
Afternoon Delight.
Hit that share button, baby, and
Do
have
it.
a beautiful rest of the day. We'll see you
Yes.
guys back at 3. We love you so
Bye,
much.
guys.
Bye.